Washed everything out. I exfoliated with my exfoliating shampoo. I also used my black Woo Woo bar. And I use that bar on my face too, so you can see how my face is much brighter. Because I use the Woosie Woo bar on my face. I wear very minimal makeup, like very minimal makeup. And I guess because my mom never wore a lot of makeup, I don't know. I don't like heavy makeup. I just don't. So I use just enough to cover some of the spots because I have freckles. So cover my freckles. You can't see them that well, but I do have freckles. So I use just enough, and I've had them for years. I use just enough makeup to cover that, like little spots like this, that's like a birthmark in there, that like has been there like since I was like a teenager, or in my 20s. Well, it's not going away because it's like been on my face, chicken pox or whatever. So I um use that Woosie Woo soap to wash any makeup. And I did wear a little foundation yesterday to the graduation. So I washed it off. Unfortunately, I slept in it. But the makeup that I wear is the kind that you can sleep in it if you forget to take it off. I wear Jones Road, and there's another makeup, MLK, I think that's what it's called. I wear every now and then. The Jones Road is a natural oil makeup, but if you have really, and she does have some that's for oily skin. My skin's not that oily. I love it because it's castor oil based, and castor oil is an excellent product for your skin. You can even treat your skin at night with castor oil and sleep in it, and it really helps make your skin so taut and supple, no matter what age you are. It really helps the skin and the neck as well. And the neck as well. Now, I've always had this on my neck. Like this is since forever. But it helps the skin and it helps the neck area as well. And I also use yesterday, I actually, since I did, not yesterday, but I can't remember. Oh, yesterday, when I did my twist out, I did the bentonite clay on my hair. And I also have an exfoliating cream that I use every now and then to remove makeup. But today I just use my Woosie Woo soap, and many times that's enough. I also use it to wash my hair. So when I put the exfoliating shampoo on, I backed it up with the Woosie Woo soap to make sure I, cleansed completely, and my scalp feels great. The itching is gone. Sometimes I use the main Cocoa Magic um, products, but this time I'm just using my product, which is I love it, which is shea butter based. It's shea butter based, and it has pumpkin seed oil. It basically has a mixture and maybe a little bit more of everything that I put in the 5 essential oils. The jojoba oil, because the beautician was telling me just put jojoba oil in it. No, jojoba oil doesn't do everything, and jojoba oil is not the closest oil to our own oil. The closest oil to our own skin oil is an oil called emu oil, and emu oil actually comes from a bird, not a plant, not a flower, not a seed. It comes from a bird. So I use, and they don't kill the bird for it. Okay, just so you know, I use that I know of. I have to look that up because I don't want to tell that lie because I don't think they do. I think it's out of the feathers or something. But I use emu oil that's secreted from this particular bird. I use peppermint oil, jojoba oil, um, pumpkin seed oil. And the fifth one, I believe, is rosemary oil. So I use those 5 oils. You can always also mix in vitamin E oil if you want, because vitamin E is good for the skin. So I use those essential oils also in my body butter. So I use basically pretty much the same thing that coconut uses in her oil. So I feel really comfortable. She has a few others that I don't use, but I feel really confident using this, using my body butter. And I may have a little more stuff in here. I think some cayenne pepper or whatever, but I'm only putting this to block the moisture into my ends. So just to show you a little bit how I do that, carefully take this off because sometimes the teeth on this get stuck. Okay, just to show you carefully how I do that. This is not going to be 100% wash and go. This is going to be kind of like a wash and went. So I've already detangled my hair pretty much, and I've done it in the pre-poo. I've done it when I washed it. So I just take it and I run it just a little bit down my hair shaft. And this is to lock in the moisture. Because if you don't know by now, when you have low porosity hair and you don't have any oil on it or anything like that or product on it, it will dry very quickly. That's why I usually apply my product in the water while the water is warm and running. I need all that right there. I don't apply product unless it's an oil sealer outside of the water area. Whether you're doing it in the sink or you're doing it in the shower, you need to go ahead and apply your product before you step out, because your hair is going to go whoosh. Mine's would. Okay, so then I'm just going to take this and just I'll probably braid it at the end, because it's really how I kind of treat my ends. Probably just sometimes I twist it, but it'll untwist once it starts drying. And if I braid it at the end, the braid kind of malamates it or whatever, makes it stay longer. And it's kind of like a wash and went. Like I said, I'm not a wash and go is when you might take some gel and go through every little piece, curl or whatever, and that kind of thing. And I don't have time for all of that, because like I said, I have to work today, so I have to do a wash and went. That's what I'm calling it, a wash and went. I don't have time for little small pieces. I'm taking about the same type of pieces that I took. These are pretty much pretty much the same pieces I took. And see, just you don't want to. I would say a dime size, maybe a quarter. You don't need a whole lot. And what I'm doing is I'm just braiding it at the end. It's already detangled pretty much. So I'm just kind of braiding it at the end. And this is the way it's going to be today until it dries. There you have it. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot. I ain't got time to mess around. Got to make that bag. As one of those YouTube channels would say, got to make the bag today. I ain't got to, got to pay some bills. You want to live like we like to live. I like to be able to go out and buy what I want, especially for my grandchildren. And if I want to do that, keep on doing that. And I do. Want to make sure they have a good life, etc., etc. I got to work. And I can't be working for $5 an hour. No, sorry, Bob. I have to really work. My husband and I both. We've always been big workers, even when we were pastors. We found ways to make money outside of the church, contrary to the church's popular opinion, that we were using the money from the church to pay our bills. And that's a stupid statement anyway, because most pastors, if they are full time, are being paid by the church itself. How do you think they're living? That was the stupidest statement somebody could have ever made, because that's how a pastor lives. If a pastor is not taking a salary, which I never took a salary, if my husband and I didn't do other things, that a lot of times people didn't even know about, because my husband was an entrepreneur. If we didn't do other things to take care of our family, if we didn't do other things, we wouldn't have made it. We would not have been able to pay our house note and all of that. So people are really something. People are really something. The average person that is on food stamps and SNAP program and WIC, and I'm just going to talk about them, that are doing those types of things and have made a career out of it. Because we're not supposed to live off of that. We're supposed to find better ways to live. Well, the average person that does that, I'm here to tell you now, they do not understand finances. They do not understand. And the first thing they do, let me tell you what they do. They think, I'm gonna tell you what they do, yeah, because I know I done peeped them. Going back to school is gonna help them increase their income. No, learning financial, how to make money, learning, taking your skill and learning how to amplify that is where your money is. But a lot of times you have to get out of, and I don't mean no disrespect, but you got to get out of the circles that you are in. You got to get away from the people, some of the people that you associate with, even if they may be family members. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't see them every now and then and say hi and bye, but you can't talk to them over the phone extensively. You can't hang out with them at parties extensively. You have to get away from those people. I'm a living witness. When I got away from them church folk crowding my office, coming to me for help and prayer, and it's not that I didn't enjoy what I was doing, but when I got away from those people, I was able to become a wife again. and a full-time entrepreneur, a mother, and a grandmother, which is my first call. My first call, what God called me to do, was not to pastor. No, that was a call for ministry at that time in my life. But when I saw, I said, Lord, I miss ministry like that, but I'm doing so much better. I'm actually doing what I preached about better. And many of them people still ain't going nowhere, living from paycheck to paycheck. Like Paul said, we try to show you a more excellent way. But you can't make people, because when they get alone somewhere with their bad thoughts, and it ain't the devil, you can't blame it on the devil. Many times it's where people have come from. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't take people from New Bern, and I'm talking about New Bern, North Carolina. I'm just no shade on people that from there, but I'm just calling out New Bern at random. If you live in New Bern, I'm not talking about you, or maybe I am. You might want to leave New Bern and want a better life. Okay. And you might say, okay, I want a better life. Well, at the time, you don't know what's in you and what New Bern have put in you. Because New Bern have run a number on you. I know because I've been in New Bern. And you couldn't pay me. Now that's me. That's me. And it's not the place, it's the mindset of the people. That's all they want. If that's all you want till you go to your grave, that's fine. This is America. But I'm talking to the people that want more. And that was always my message. I'm talking to the people that want more. If you want more, listen, this is good advice. If you don't want more, don't listen, which is what a lot of them did, the majority of them, because some of them came out of places like New Bern, Creedmoor, I can't think of the other cities, Wilmington. And it wasn't in nice areas in Wilmington. It was like Wilmington ghetto, New Bern ghetto. New Bern is already down there. You understand? But you have to understand, if you say, okay, I'm coming out of New Bern, it's not the same thing as somebody that said, I'm coming out of Chicago, or I'm coming out of um, New York, or I'm coming out of California, or I'm coming out of Alabama. Because you're dealing with different regional areas that have regional spirits in them. So if you say, I'm coming out of New Bern, then you're saying, I am going to come out from up under the spirit, because these are spiritual things. The spirit of New Bern, because New Bern has a spirit over it, the whole town, just like Wendell does. Now, I live in Wendell, but I'm not coming up out of Wendell. Do you understand? And you say, okay, I'm going to move to, let's say you're coming out of New Bern and you're going to move to, let's say Miami, Florida, or Fort Lauderdale, or Miami Gardens, which is really nice. It's nicer than Miami, or West Palm Beach. Let's go with West Palm Beach, Florida. You're going to get a job. You're going to do better. You're going to blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what you're taking to West Palm Beach with you? Much as you don't want to take it, because you got to get delivered from New Bern first. You taking New Bern to West Palm Beach with you until you get delivered from New Bern. Now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you, because I've seen it too many times. You coming right back to New Bern or close to New Bern, you coming right back to North Carolina, because New Bern has a spirit and the state of North Carolina has a principality, which is a spirit. So your tail, you might stay in West Palm Beach for maybe a year or two, and you might do some things there, but you ain't really going to accomplish nothing, because you're going to go in a circle. If you don't get delivered from New Bern, let me tell you how you know you ain't delivered from New Bern. You circle right back to it. All you're going to do is you might gain some luggage, get a couple of new clothes, a few new friends, whatever. You didn't gain, you didn't change nothing. And I have witnessed it. I seen people do it. And I tell their friends, I tell my husband, I said, I know when you've been delivered, like from New Bern or wherever you came from. See, I came up out of Chicago, and Chicago has its principalities too. And Chicago has the state of Illinois. Chicago has its demonic powers over it, controlling the government system and all of that. And it has its principalities over the Illinois, the state itself has issues. So I came out from up under that, spiritually speaking. Well, guess what? I didn't never go back to Chicago. You know why? Because I got delivered in Chicago from Chicago. Does that make sense? So whatever struggles I had in Chicago, whatever dramatic trauma as a child, all of that, God sufficiently, the Holy Spirit delivered me from that. Okay, guys, so this is it. So get delivered from New Bern before you leave New Bern again, or Cary, or wherever you're going, if you say you're going to leave North Carolina. All right, guys, that's it. And get delivered there. You can't get to where you're going and then get delivered. You got to get delivered where you are, or else you're going to suckle right back. You're going to suckle right back. All right, love you guys, and have a great, prosperous day. I got to get out of here and make that bag.